We live in a very troubled world today. COVID, climate change, natural disaster, political instability, civil war. There's too many countries involved and all of them are increasing human suffering. Will no one help? Is there no leadership? And what can any of us do? Ethiopia, Tigray, Afghanistan, more recently Sudan. The list appears endless, and it's enough to drive you to despair. Into this situation, the Church of Ireland's Bishop's Appeal is bringing hope to many suffering in our world today. And for those of us in Ireland, it provides a trustworthy way for us to express our concern. Among the very many projects it supports around the world, we've chosen one in Ethiopia for our appeal for this year's Mission Sunday. Ethiopia is suffering from a long period of drought. There's a civil war in the north, and more recently, a plague of locusts has destroyed this year's crop. And I haven't even mentioned COVID. Bishop's Appeal has helped us choose a project run by Christian Aid in Ethiopia, where Christian Aid has been working for 33 years and is a trusted partner. The project, over 2 years, will help to harvest rainwater to irrigate crops, to plant protected gardens to produce seed, and to restore sanitation where none exists. Above all, Christian Aid is bringing hope to people worn down by despair and hopelessness. That's what we in Limerick and Killaloe have committed to support for this year's Mission Sunday. Practical help which will provide food and sanitation so that families can thrive and children grow up healthy and having enough to eat.
Bishop's Appeal is the Church of Ireland's World Aid and Development Programme. We partner with key agencies and fund their delivery of health, education, rural development and disaster relief responses throughout the Global South. This Mission Sunday, we are delighted that you are joining us to fund a Christian Aid programme in Ethiopia, setting up early response systems to health emergencies in order to reduce the number of preventable deaths and illnesses from malnourishment and other climate-related diseases. Ethiopia is a historically and culturally rich country in the Horn of Africa that has been hit hard by crisis after crisis. Bishop's Appeal currently supports humanitarian aid for people fleeing violence in Tigray, providing temporary shelters, food and medicine. Bishop's Appeal also supports Mothers Union programmes in the Gambela district, literacy circles for local communities and for refugees. And now, with the help of Limerick and Killaloe, we will be supporting health programmes in southern Ethiopia, in Konzo and South Omo. Christian Aid have been working alongside these communities for 30 years, providing seed-saving training, stove improvement workshops, savings and loan schemes for setting up small businesses, tracking weather patterns to help make farming decisions, and of course drought supports, and more recently COVID supports for people who are on the brink of famine because of the pandemic. As extended periods of drought followed by intense flooding increase, so too does water contamination, malnutrition from food shortages, and an increase in waterborne diseases like cholera and mosquito-borne diseases like malaria and dengue fever. People find themselves persistently ill and unable to tackle the problems of drought and of food price hikes because they're simply too weak. Added to drought and flooding and water contamination and locusts and rises in diseases, only 1 in 3 people have access to latrines and have proper sanitation in these remote communities. So there's a high mortality rate for children under 5 from preventable diseases such as diarrhea. The communities want to know how to keep their children safe and well. When people know what is making them ill, they can take action. Knowledge is power. So what is this project and what will it do? It will put monitoring systems in place to chart changes in temperature or water levels to be able to predict and then to prevent the spread of diseases. And it will put early warning systems in place so that if diseases do start spreading in the community, people will be able to detect them and will be able to respond to them to halt that spread. Part of this will involve training local health clinic staff to identify diseases and activate early warning systems so they can stop the spread. Now, these health clinics are very rural and very remote, and many don't have electricity or running water. So another part of this project is lobbying the Ministry for Health to invest in these clinics. Another key aspect of the project is to train and empower community members to monitor for those changes in weather patterns. Other practical ways to support the halt and spread of diseases is to install more latrines and sanitation stations and to protect precious water sources from contamination. We've seen the benefit of hand washing with COVID, and it's the same with other transmittable viruses. The project will also include home garden irrigation systems and the provision of drought-resistant seeds so people can grow food even during drought and avoid malnourishment. Faith leaders and community leaders will join with health practitioners to provide the programme and to call people to be trained in early responses. They are an integral part of this connected response. Bishop's Appeal has partnered with similar Christian aid programmes in the past, and we have seen incredible results. This picture is taken from a malaria awareness campaign in remote communities in Nigeria, where people were becoming ill many times a year and losing precious income from loss of work and from medical bills. Bringing faith leaders, community leaders and health professionals together to train about what causes malaria and how people can prevent themselves from getting ill saw a sharp increase in people's understanding. Many had thought the water was dirty and they were boiling it faithfully, but they were still losing their children to the mysterious disease. Then they were taught how to treat and to mend mosquito nets and the importance of sleeping under them even when it was uncomfortable. 5 years later, the rate of malaria in these regions has halved. We believe we can make a difference. We believe that with your help, we can support a community made up of people like these women and this child to reduce diseases and to have a life that's not just about surviving, but it's about living and maybe even thriving. So thank you for your support and for the difference we already know it can make in southern Ethiopia.
So that's the project, and that's our commitment. I do commend this project to you for your prayers and for your support this Mission Sunday. God bless you all.